Good afternoon, everyone. This is Riley with Midwest Market Management, bringing you our weekly South America weather and putting it into national yield perspective. Just me today. Clint is doing an event today, so you are just stuck with my ugly head. So, with that said, I'm going to hop right into the maps here. First thing I want to do, put into perspective how big of an area we're talking about with South America. I do this every time. I'm trying to just make it a little bit quicker. So areas we're talking about is anywhere from Mato Grosso and the Tocantins all the way down through Argentina. If you take just Mato Grosso and put it on a US map, it's almost the whole Midwest, guys. Huge area we're talking about here. So with that said, let's hop into the temperature side of things. Thursday's report, or excuse me, today's Thursday. Next Tuesday's report will have more updated planning progress. Brazil's at the point they're getting close to wrapped up, looking more towards Argentina now than we are Brazil. So 1 to 5 day temperatures here, not a lot of change. Pretty much the entire region of Brazil is in the 70s in some areas, but mostly in the 80s. And as we're looking towards these northern regions like Mato Grosso, the Tocantins, these are areas where Safrinha corn is going to be planted here the next month, month and a half. So bean harvest within the next 2 to 3 weeks will be underway. So we do need to be watching that closely to see if something happens to slow farmers down up there. But as of right now, it doesn't look like it. So overall, right now, temperatures are not hot enough to cause a big drought issue. I'd mentioned over the last many weeks that Brazil and Argentina has been plenty wet. And over the last 2 weeks, as we've looked at those numbers, it is starting to die down a little bit in some regions. I'll get to that here in a second. So moving in, Argentina and then some of southern Brazil is still in here as well. Some small areas in the 90s where that orange is, but for the most part, mid to upper 80s and some regions in the 70s. So not enough heat right now to cause any big stress for regions that are starting to dry out. Moving into the 6 to 10, more of the same in Brazil and that same region there in the north central Argentina is continuing to get some 90-degree heat. So if they aren't going to get any rainfall, it is something we are going to have to look at a little bit more closely. So moving in now, we're looking at the last 2 weeks of rainfall. This is what I was mentioning. Some regions were starting to dry out over the last 2 weeks. Western Mato Grosso, which as you go northwest in Brazil, that's where you start hitting the Amazon rainforest. So usually that northwest area of Brazil is very wet, and some of that rain crept down into Mato Grosso. And for farmers in that region, I haven't heard mass flooding issues, but definitely not looking for rain in that little area. And as for the rest of Mato Grosso, pretty similar. They're not hunting around for any rain. Where there is some people starting to want some is this eastern region of southern Brazil. We've mentioned southern Brazil's been very wet. The only region that's been missing some is right pretty close to the coastline. Uh, the issue is they have not had enough heat. So no big storylines right now, guys. Some people are talking and trying to drum up some stories, but as of right now, I don't see one. We'd have to see a couple weeks of continued dryness before it's a real issue. So looking towards Argentina here, some regions getting some decent rain over the last 2 weeks, but very hit and miss. Starting to get to the point where Argentina could use rains again, especially in this region here that was missed by a large amount of the rainfall. So that's what's happened over the last couple weeks. Let's see what's going on going forward. Next 1 to 5 days, the region of southern Brazil that's been getting plenty of rain is going to continue to get it. 3 to 5 inches in that region of Paraná. And as you look to the east or along the coastline, a little bit less rain there in the forecast, guys. So not saying they're not going to have any issues, but I'm still overall going to say from a national yield perspective and how we're looking at all of Brazil, and there is not a big storyline that is going to cripple their yields today. However, there is a lot of growing area yet, especially on Safrinha crop corn that hasn't even been stuck in the ground yet. So a lot of time going on, but as of right now, no story is here. So 1 to 5 day for Argentina. That same cell through southern Brazil is going into Paraguay. But overall, Argentina pretty dry over the next 5 days. Some regions right along the border are going to get some heavier rains, but for the most part, nothing huge. So looking at the 6 to 10 day, this is where some heavier rains are coming to center west Brazil, Goiás, eastern Mato Grosso, areas that combines are going to start rolling before the end of the year. So those regions are going to get to the point where they won't want any rain so they can start rolling. But for right now, I don't see it as a big issue or a hindrance. So final wrapping up here, 6 to 10 day for Argentina, pretty dry. So I mentioned it would take a couple weeks of dryness in Argentina before it starts becoming a real thought and story for the markets to run with. We're getting the first week of it. This is getting us out to 10 days without a lot of rain in the forecast. So if next week is continued dryness in Argentina through the end of the year, it definitely could be something that the markets start to take a little bit of interest in. But I would say from a national yield perspective, that would be maybe more of a short-term thing to help out the markets, not a long-term supply issue in South America. So overall, not a lot of big changes this week, but there are some shifts starting to go on as we saw. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime to any of us or check out our website, midwestmarketmanagement.com or .net, excuse me. So that is it for today, and hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in.